Hi, everybody. Good evening. I see some people have joined. Let's just wait for a few minutes for others to join as well. If anybody has any questions, any queries that you want me to address, now is the time. We have some chit chat time right now. Just drop in your comments, any questions, any feedback, anything that we may have missed yesterday, any queries that I missed out on. You can just drop a comment in the chat. So I'm just gonna head over. I used one frame and inserted an image, and then again I want to insert the whole part in some other frame. I would suggest that maybe you directly just copy the image and place it in another frame. I mean, you can resize the second frame however you wish to, but I mean, I hope that kind of solves your query. If not, do let me know and maybe phrase it a little differently so that if I'm not getting your query, I'll be able to. Okay, a document that contains all keyboard shortcuts. All right, okay. Yeah, I think that is something that we can add to the one link. How to make portfolio using Canva. Okay, yeah, okay. I think that is something we can also cover in today's session. Let me just go through what all do we have planned for the day. And then we can get started. Okay. Any other queries, guys? Any question that you may have? I'm just gonna scroll up in the chat just to see if I missed anything. Okay, how to create tables in Canva with numeric data. That's a very, very good question. I was hoping somebody would ask me that. So I'm just gonna make a note of that and we can cover that. Resume template. Okay, all right. How do we post own content on Canva? So there's an option to publish your design so that anybody can access it. Yeah, you can see these two sessions afterwards. The videos will stay on at the Let's Upgrade channel. Okay, so we are going to cover resumes. We are going to cover tables and I'll add keyboard shortcuts. So I'm just a second. I'm just going to make a quick note of all these things. Okay, portfolio as well. Yeah. And shortcuts. Okay. Great. Is there anything else? How to use Canva to make a fashion portfolio? Okay. Okay. I think we can cover that also. So what all do we have for the day? Let's just go through this and in between, I can kind of, keep on addressing your queries as well. So we are going to talk about our primary design principles, uh, and how to use backgrounds and layers, exploring text effect and animation. I think animation is something that we covered yesterday, so maybe today we can kind of go through how to create text effects, collaborating and sharing, exporting the file in multiple extensions, and of course, some real life applications for this. Okay, I guess everything looks fine. Maybe we can just very quickly recap what all we did yesterday, and then we can kind of, go ahead with today's session. So, okay. So, I think another question that a lot of you had was how can I earn using Canva? So, I mean, graphic designing is something that, is a very interesting field. And of course, all the features or all the services that Canva has to offer. So, for example, portfolio designing or website designing, presentation designing, all these things can be done with Canva, and they will kind of, generate a revenue stream if you work as a freelancer or if you work as a graphic designer. And even for people who are exploring some social or marketing angle, so Canva can definitely help them out as well. So I'm just gonna share my screen. Let me know if it's visible, guys. Okay, I'm gonna keep the chat open. Uh, okay. Any questions? Generation of computer posters. I don't know what do you mean by that. It's a very vague question. LinkedIn covers, yes, of course. So LinkedIn covers have a very specific size that they use, and of course, you need to be, aware of the fact that there is a slight overlap with the profile picture as well. So if you design something according to those aspects, and of course, the information or the dimension of the poster is available on Google. So you can just look it up, create a custom design just like this, custom size, and you are good to go. Okay. Make a post or a flyer. So that was something that we covered yesterday when we created this birthday invite poster. So similarly, you can kind of see how certain design elements stay consistent in all social media posts. For example, the brand logo that is usually placed on top left, or let me just give you an example. Social media. I'm just gonna, okay. So, social media, I clicked on social media, and all of these posts come up. So, if we are not promoting a particular brand, in that case, you don't really need to put a logo. For example, this is just a generic post, right? It does not really have any relevance. But when we talk about creating something for a particular brand, for example, in this particular post. So, Studio Shot V is the name of maybe the person or the company. So, they've kept some sort of an identity at the top left, right? Similarly, if we look up, I think this is all real estate, doesn't really have a logo. But okay, so for example, another design that we see, so they have a logo, they are using certain elements so that, I remember that their logo is red colored, and they're using a person, they're kind of, creating an impactful messaging. Maybe they overdid it with information here. I mean, this is too close to my title, so is the logo. So maybe I'm not really able to focus on this. Contact us has a lot of empty space around it, but maybe that is how they wanted to guide your eyes, that you know about the company. This is the name of the company. This is what they do, and contact us. So that is why they kept it so far apart. But primarily, if you look at this logo, so it has a yellow color outline in it. So that is the color palette that they've chosen, something that really makes the yellow pop out, which is green. And apart from that, it has some fine assets within itself that kind of make me, remember this brand and the identity, and of course, all that it does. Now, let's see a slightly different design. So for social media post, again, if you're doing something that is for a particular brand or for a particular company, it is very important to maintain their brand identity across your designs. You really need to kind of ensure that you're not overwhelming the user with the yellow. Maybe in this design there's like a lot of yellow over here, but if they had just kept this particular portion black and this also black, and just made the whole grow your business yellow, I think this could have been really impactful. The grow your business, because of course everybody wants to grow their business. Nobody wants to just like be where they are. So these some of these things are very important for you to understand before you start creating a social media post. Now, I think some of you have some suggestions on what we should do, magazine ad, and I think website. Okay, so I think I can give you a walkthrough of what a website template looks like, because that is a very cool uh, feature that Canva has, that it lets you create a website. So I've just searched for websites. Okay. It is going to give me so many options, and all of them are pretty nicely designed and pretty good looking. Most of them seem like a portfolio website and not really, something that I would use maybe for an app based company. But that's okay. That is something, so I think, yeah, I found this. Now, this is something I think this company maybe creates some bakery items. So let's just look for a design that is free. I think this one is free. And so is this. So is this. So let's just go with this one. Click on customize this template. So, of course, you can always go back to home and create a design for website. You can use a template. So they have categorized the templates with respect to industry. If you want an educational website, if you want a standard business portfolio event, so many options are available for you. So all you need to do is just kind of like, see which one you are resonating with. For example, this is just a one pager, right? And the template that we've selected has multiple pages. And I can just quickly go to preview to see what this website is going to look like. So it has a bunch of cool animations. It has a bunch of sections. So all these transitions that you see, they've just added through the animate feature of Canva. They've just kind of, like put all of these pages together to make it look like a website. And I think Canva probably lets you register to a domain, also use a custom domain, right? So if that is something that you're exploring, so there are a bunch of plugins that can help you if you want integration with WhatsApp, or if you want a booking management system. I think Canva has a solution for all of those things. Now let's talk about resumes. So I think a lot of you wanted to kind of test out what all features that you have. Let me just go back. Okay. Poster making. So, okay, poster making is something that, yes, we will cover, poster slash flyer. But I think it's important to kind of understand what all Canva has to offer, and let's just not get stuck with one type of design style that you may want. It is good to have versatility. So for example, I just searched for resumes and I have gotten so many options. Now I can just pick one, and for example, I select this one. This seems pretty decent. And so I would suggest that when you start working, it will be ideal that you start with a template. If you are new to design, if you're already a designer, if you've been designing for some time, then of course you can just take this workspace and create something on your own. But I mean, that's for the people who have experience in design. But for people who are new and want to kind of understand how all of this is framed, or all of this is put together, you can just simply use a template and kind of understand the typography that they're using. For example, if I zoom in, so I see that they've kind of used this area to highlight the name of the person. So again, because this is a resume, I really need the people to kind of pay attention to my name, get some recall value out of it, and also understand what my designation is. If I am a designer, then I need to make it very prominent to the person that this is the job that I'm applying for, this is who I am. Now I see that for the font they've chosen now, and the size is 30 with bold properties. But for this, because my name is the second thing, first thing that they will see, and my designation is the second. So they've given it ample space in the background to kind of notify the user that this is the hierarchy. You see my name first, then you read what my designation is, and then you go about exploring what all information have I added in this for you. So okay, all right, so now for this secondary title, they have chosen Lato and the size is 12, and kept it in all caps to make it a little designy. So if I had just kept it like this, it looks a little weak. But with caps and some horizontal letter spacing, so I think it is actually making it look very clean, very minimal. The one thing I would change in this header is maybe reduce the transparency a little bit more, because this seems like an autograph in the background. And unless I'm a celebrity, I would not really want to add my signature anywhere, right? Because unless you're famous, your signature is just a signature, it's not really an autograph. So this is just a design element, but it should have some reduced opacity so that it does not really take away from what the primary focus should be, which is my name and my designation. Now, going forward, let's just see what all type of designs do they have that we can kind of look into, especially in the free subscription model that we have. So this resume has taken a slightly different approach. In this, they have kept the primary information, which is what your profile is, your work experience, and then on the right side, they're talking about miscellaneous information like contact, education, skills, language. Okay, I think this is just dummy content. So yeah, they're talking about like miscellaneous things, because primarily people just want to know what your background is and where have you worked in the past, right? What all do you know? So these kind of elements should be added in a resume. Uh, Create own design in resume template. Yeah, you can definitely do that. But I mean, because resumes are pretty simple to make, so I think we don't really need to invest a lot of time in this. But the one thing that you need to keep in mind while designing your resume is that the information has to be very crisp. Another thing that I would have changed in this design is probably just a second. So, okay, I have selected all these elements, and now I'm selecting this area, and I just need to swap them. basically is what I need to do, because I think that I need to keep my primary profile summary on the right side. So I'm just gonna hold down shift so that it moves in the right line and do something like this. Okay. So I think this makes sense. I'm just gonna ungroup this a little bit and done. Now I can add the separator back. So I think if I were to design this resume, this is what I would have done. I would have kept the primary information on the left, because this is something that I really want people to, focus on. So I think this looks better without kind of like, getting them to focus on this first rather than like, missing out on primary information. So, okay. So, how to create a fresher resume? Okay, so I would suggest that if you're looking for design, I have shown you a bunch of templates and how you can use. Try to avoid something that is very dark looking. So, for example, this is fine, but you can't really use colors that are like too bright and too pop. You can't use yellow, you can't use red, you can't use pink, purple, some fancy colors like that. Just stick with neutral colors or a classic design or combination of black and white, unless you are applying for a super creative job like a designer. So I think for this, even this resume definitely is standing out. It made me click on it. But at the same time, if you're not putting information contextually, it is going to kind of make me lose focus. So, for example, in this design, I get to know about the person, who this person is, their experience, their education. Now, in the skill set, they've used iconography over here. So, which is another, guys, please don't spam. Okay. So, yeah, in the skill set, they've added a lot of icons, but it is taking up a lot of space for me. If I were to design this resume, maybe would have added a section for language. If I am, bilingual or multilingual, even I would have added that. If I, wanted to, and I could have added some soft skills, and like I'm a team player, I have, a good command at time management, stuff like that. So I think, okay, I think this is definitely too flashy, but then again, that is my perspective. This looks nice. This looks a very fresh approach to creating a resume. So going with your standard minimalistic approach is good, and but creating something slightly different or something that you have not really come across all that much, so I think that kind of gives you a creative edge over the competition. So I think that is something that you can definitely look into, but ensure that there is a very fine line between making something creative or just straight up crazy. I would not want to see a resume like this. I mean, this is just way too creative. This is not a social media post. It's not a concept post. You are trying to convince a company or somebody that you are a serious candidate and they should hire you. So I think with this, they just went too far. So, okay, all right. Any questions? All right. Okay. So I think that kind of covers everything there is about resumes. And I think data is something that one of you asked for. So let's just go for a presentation. I'm just going to create a design. Okay, just a second. Okay. So, for example, I need to add a data sheet in this. So I'm just gonna look up charts, and or I can even add tables. So I think with tables, you probably kind of need to. Uh, it's just a drag and drop feature, so it's nothing too fancy. I just in the elements section, I just search for table, and there are a bunch of design styles for such tables. I can use any of them. So I'm just gonna collapse this, uh, duplicate, or I can just go to the three dots and duplicate, deleting this from here. Okay, I think I need to delete it completely. Yes, and similarly for this. Okay, so these are two design styles that I have used from my element section. So if I need to add more rows, I can do that. If I need to delete one, I can do that. All of the features that are available at your disposal. If I want to merge two cells, I can do that. So all these things are something that you can work upon. So if I click on this icon that is on the row, I can add more rows. If I want to add more columns, um sorry, I don't see an option to add more columns. Not really sure why that is. Okay, adding columns. Okay, because it's on the rightmost side. Okay, and I can just always delete the columns that I'm adding. Double tap on it, you can add value here. I'm going to just increase the size, doubling it, adding value here. And I can just keep on adding the information, whatever I want. All of that is added in this. Okay, so I can, of course, change the color of the columns also. I can just hold down Shift and select multiple boxes, change the color from here. Oh, okay. Right. I can change something from here. Okay, I think these are set colors. So maybe I just need to go to my color picker and maybe add a softer tone for this, and an even softer. Okay, this is cool. I did not know this. So if I hold down Shift and I've just clicked on the first box, and I now click on the last box, it is going to select all of these elements for me, which is pretty neat. Now, okay, I think this looks fine. Based on the purple chart that we had, I've just kind of rebranded it according to my color preferences. So, okay, this is how you add tables. I hope that is clear. If you want to add corners or borders or lines on the inside, you can do that from here. Right now, I'm just adding a corner to this on this side. I'm gonna just change the color to black so you can see that a black color has been added to the edge. So I can always just tap on this. I can always kind of increase the weight of the border. So that is gonna happen here. Because this design style does not really permit a very seamless border addition. So I think that is why the edges are not coming in perfectly, but that's okay. Now, another feature is for this table, kind of like, your uh, very simple adjustments that you can make to your design. You can change the table spacing, you can change the cell spacing, so you can see how it is affecting my design. So yeah, that's basically how you can work around tables. So another cool thing is charts. So this is something that I really like to use in Canva. Just a second. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly see if you guys have any questions. What is typography? Okay, so typography is basically a combination of using multiple fonts together, or just kind of understanding. If you're using a single font, then typography can kind of be your guiding tool in conveying the message to the end user in the most optimum way. For example, if we talk about this particular page, now because they have added a background color over here, and they've chosen this font size which is consistent for all of them. So I know that all these buttons are at the same level, right? But for a different, or for a change of pace, they've kind of given this text chart a slightly bold effect. It's not completely bold, it's like semi bold or something around medium or something like that. So this kind of makes me feel like this is the page header, which actually is. And similarly, they set the property for the button so that it kind of stands out, the text inside it, right? And in the table that you see, the size is ABC and it's smaller. So it is kind of helping me set the hierarchy for like my reading content. I think let's just look for a reference typography examples. Okay, so when we talk about typography, what all is there? So of course there are a lot of ifs and buts and what sorry definitions in typography. I think probably this is not the right example for you. It's too technical. I think this is too. Okay. So I'm just gonna look for a simple solution for you. Okay, so let's just take this as an example. Okay, I'm not really able to keep it in one frame. I'm just gonna copy it, paste it in our Canva design. Yeah, okay. So let's talk about typography for a minute. So basically, typography is nothing but a way of communicating with the user. For example, I could be communicating with the user in terms of my brand identity or a paragraph that I'm writing, or even if we, take this YouTube screen for a reference. So you can see that the title of the video is highlighted very clearly. Then we have the name of the page and how many subscribers it has. And then there is a button. So you can see that there are small, but like, very drastic variations in the font that is being used. Sorry, not the font, but the sizes. This and this may have the same, maybe width, or sorry, not width, weight. There is something called font weight. For example, if we go to fonts.google.com, so these are the fonts that Google has, to offer. And for example, if I go to Roboto, you can see that there are multiple styles, multiple weights of the font, and some are in italics, some are in bold and italics. And I can just kind of like put my sample content here. So, hello world. So this is what it's gonna look like. If I increase the size, this is what it's gonna look like at scale. So I can just kind of like, go to a bunch of sites like Font Joy and generate a font pairing for myself. So for example, I click on generate. So it is going to suggest that these two fonts usually go together very well. So I can like maybe generate this could be used for heading because it's very clear, it's very easy to read. This could be for a quirky subtext that I'm trying to use, and this can be for my body text. So it is very much advised that for body text we use something that is very easy to read and does not really have some elements like maybe some fonts use a like this, whereas some fonts use a like this. So it is better to not use the fonts that have this because it is often confused as O. So that is something that we need to avoid when we are choosing our font. Okay, let's get back to our Canva uh, design, which is for tables. Okay, so I just went to elements, charts, and selected one of the charts. So it's giving me a bunch of options also. If I want columns, if I want rectangles, step by step, mind map, pie chart. So let's just go to pie chart also, and charts, and add one more here. So I'm just gonna cut and paste here. So let's see how I can add data, because this definitely will add value to your life. So all I need to do is double tap on the chart on the table. Sorry, it is a chart. And I can kind of change the layout from here also. If I want a bar chart, stack bar, pie chart, if I want a donut chart, which we just used here, if I want a radar chart, so I can just kind of like change. So each chart has a specific meaning, a specific reasoning behind using it. So we're not going to get into that, but I think this is something that we can cover. So, for example, if I have a table with data, so let's just say, uh, what is kind of like a decent stat. I'm totally spacing out on stats. So for example, let's see a top ranking OTT is what I am trying to decide. We have Netflix, we have Hotstar, and we have Prime, right? We have these three elements with us. So actually, shoot, I think I had to add Netflix over here, Hotstar here, and Prime here. So here are going to be my parameters in this. That so we're just gonna add this later on. That what is the top ranking for this, or what my marking for this is going to be like. How many people are watching it, maybe streaming कितना होता है इसके अंदर, or app downloads, or some other thing. I think I'm just gonna remove this particular column for now. So streamed by 1000 people, actually 10 people, because our scale is still 20. I don't want to increase that right now. And maybe app downloads are 7. For Hotstar, 7 people are streaming it right now, and 5 app downloads. For Prime, maybe 21 people are streaming it right now, and 7 or 3 app downloads. So you can see that my data is changing based on what I have added here. My chart is changing based on the information that I've put, and I can always customize it. So, in the life of a graphic designer or designer in general, it is not going to be all about creating designs for social media, or creating or editing reels, creating thumbnails, presentations. You are also going to need to learn these, real life applications of design wherever you go. So I think this is something you can look into. So for miscellaneous requests like digital wedding card, or if we want to add one more OTT, what can we do? Okay, good question. Double tap, go here, and insert column after. Sorry, I just added a row. Go to this side, insert a row after. Now this has been added, and maybe I can call it GeoTV. So this is going to be added here, and I can add some numbers. I can add anything, and this information will be shown here, right? On hover, this information becomes interactive. So another good feature about Canva is that it lets you kind of like, have some sort of an animation by default. You don't really need to do anything. So yes, as I was saying, for inquiries like how do you create a thumbnail or how do you create a digital wedding card, I think all you need to do if you have a query around this is just look it up here. So for example, wedding card. So if I search for a wedding card, I have so many templates that I can just kind of pick from, whether they are free or they are paid. You can just kind of based on your subscription type, you can just kind of go through all of this information and select what you prefer and kind of take it from there. So okay, any other questions? How to add an element in a frame? Like I tried to add a person in a heart sheet, but it wasn't fitting in the shape, it was overlapping the shape. Okay. I think we covered this yesterday, but let me just take one more stab at it. So you need to select a frame for this. When we select frames and go here, these are all your options. These are all the predefined frames that there are. And as we covered yesterday, that there are a bunch of frame types, or sorry, plugins that let you customize your frame as well. So for example, if I just choose this particular frame and I go to elements, search for person, go to photos. So I have all these options. I'm just going to drag and drop it here. So you can see that it has kind of taken up the shape of the frame. The image is, I can double click on it. I can adjust it however I want. I can maybe increase the size. I can't decrease the size because it is confined to the sides of the text, or sorry, the frame. So I think that is something that you can do if in case you have queries. How to blend text or image. Okay, I think that is something we can take up later on. Uh, Can you provide Canva Pro lifetime link, team link for free? I don't have it. If anybody has it, please share it with me. That will be great. I won't have to pay for Canva anymore. So that is okay. All right. So now let's talk about some elements okay, what should we design? I think we can cover maybe a flyer design. So, okay, I'm just gonna go back to flyer. I always keep on searching for it in elements. I should be going in design. Element is, as the name suggests, it is a just some bunch of elements, but your design is really, where you kind of uh, take up like references or a collected composed design. So okay, can't I add graphic in a frame? Yeah, I think you can add a graphic in a frame. That you can even add text to a frame, so that should not be a problem. Okay, how to see the typo on face? I don't really know what that means. Okay, let's make a carousel. Yeah, I think we can do that, but I think we can start with maybe a flyer and flyer or a brochure even. I think that is something that is requested a lot by people. So for, okay, it doesn't have an option for layout, neither does it have an option to select orientation. I want to design a brochure that is more horizontal, less vertical. So I'm just gonna go out, search for a brochure here. Uh, okay, so these are the type of brochures that are frequently requested by designers. That ये छोटा सा business है, ये brochure बना देना or something like that. So that is something that we're gonna work on today. And it can be like super generic. It can be twofold or threefold. So I'm just gonna, I think presentation design honestly is my favorite. So I just keep on going back to that. So I tap on R, square box opens up. I copy it by holding down Z and sorry, not Z, Alt and Shift. Copy it again. So I can see that it hasn't quite matched the complete width of my design. So I'm just gonna select all of them and expand. Now I'm going to change the color for these. And so basically, what the agenda for this particular design is going to be like is we are going to create a brochure for a tours and travel company. They are very newly launched and they have a variety of, you know, packages that you can kind of explore from. So that is what we are going to do. I think we can keep the middle area empty. So I'm just going to create one fold of it. This is going to be the cover, this is going to be the back, and this can be some miscellaneous information that I want people to know about. Okay. How to remove photo background? Okay, I think for photo background, for example, if I select this, remove background is a pro feature. It has been working very accurately for me so far. So, but then again, it is a pro feature. So if you really think it is stopping you from executing a design in the most amazing manner, you can, go for that. It's 500 rupees for a month. Okay. Uh, all right. Any other questions? No. Okay. All right. So we have the cover for this brochure. Now, what do we need? What do we need for this? We need a logo. So I'm just gonna quickly search for a logo of a company. I think something super generic, super simple works. For example, something that does not really look bad but also goes with my design. It is always very difficult. It doesn't. Okay, I think I'm just gonna select this and I'm gonna resize it, put it over here. As you can see that my logo is not really looking so well with the a blue background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly change the color for this. And yeah, it is visible now. So whenever you're creating a logo, keep in mind that you have to create a bunch of variations for this. You have to create a logo in the original colors, which in this case was red and orange. And you also need to create a variation in white and in black, so that if your logo is being used by somebody other than you, they know that which kind of variation goes best with which background, so that they're not using a black or a red colored logo with a blue background. They should be ideally using a white logo for that to make it stand out, because you don't really want to lose the identity in all these miscellaneous informations, right? Okay. So now we need to add a super impactful line. So for example, uh, okay. So this is always the most difficult part. What content do we add here? So I have a very quick shortcut for this, which is this site called lipsum.com. So what it does is it's basically a repository for adding dummy content. If you can't really figure out what to write here, just go to lipsum.com and select this, which kind of like, I think this is Latin, and it will work as a placeholder till we have the original copy that is supposed to go on this design. Okay, so selecting the whole identity, the whole entity, not identity, and I'm just going to place it, left align it, ungrouping, reducing the size for this so that it fits in one line, and I can see that the subtext that I had used is in black. Maybe I want to not keep it blue, of course, but a lighter shade, may a faded design here. Now I may need to add some fancy looking images over here because this is a travel agency. Okay, maybe I can write it in the content. So for this random travel agency, I'm just gonna select a frame again because I want to put an image in this. Okay, I am gonna go back to frames and see if there is a frame that I like. Okay, I think I do like this polar wala template that I just saw. Something like this. Okay. So this is a little blurry, but I think I'll be able to add multiple images over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just look for the word travel, go to photos and see what all is free for me to use. For example, I have this. This is the image of a passport. So what I did was in this particular frame, I just drag and drop these images from you know, my selection. If I want to rotate this image, I can definitely do that. But I think this orientation is fine as it is. And maybe select one more image while I'm here. I think it can be this one. Maybe I can arrange it to make it seem like the person is visible. Now I think this looks fine. Maybe put it somewhere like this. So I don't want to, have the corners cut it too much. So I'm just gonna place it like this. In fact, yeah, I'm not even going to change the, layout a lot more. This is working fine because this is going to be one fold. This is a three fold. So it's gonna look like this and this. So it doesn't really matter if my cover does not, cover is kind of like getting cut from the sides because my primary focus is just to establish this emotion that this is something about traveling. All right. So because I have used white over here and here as well, so this black color is actually looking a little odd. So what I need to do is select the frame, go to colors, and oh shoot, I think okay. Uh, okay, I think in this scenario, I'm probably not allowed to change the frame background. So if black is the one that we have selected, then this is uh okay. So I missed the part where you made three folds. How did you do that? Okay, I did not really do much. I just created three rectangles and split them evenly in my design, and then I removed the middle part. So this just makes me look like this is a three-part flyer, but this actually just a presentation background. How to add video content in frame. Again, drag and drop. When you have a frame in place, you can just simply add videos to it. So for example, let me just copy this frame and show you how we can add videos here. So I think this video is gonna start playing here. Yeah, it is. But that's kind of like, only for digital media. You don't really need to, shouldn't really be adding videos to static content. Okay. Not this, but the third image in that frame. Okay, yeah. So this is actually part of the frame. I just dragged and dropped a bunch of images in this. Okay. Yes, I will be adding a link in the one link regarding all the shortcuts for all the shortcuts for Canva. Okay. Uh, just a second. Let me just look this up. All right. So now let's just recap what all we did. We established that this is what you can do. Travel agency. Maybe write best travel agency and increase the size a little bit to make it look a little more prominent. and aligning it here, and starting from, or packages starting from INR maybe 20,000. Okay. So I think that is something that we can add, because we definitely need to establish that this is a tours and travels company. But we also need to, make sure that the person knows that this is what the offering is for the users. So I'm just going to highlight 20,000, because this is a fairly reasonable amount. And I mean, this is something that probably can catch the user's attention. Now, in order to kind of maximize the space, I probably would want to move my logo to this side, and maybe see if I can, increase the space a little bit, or the size a little bit more. So I think, yeah, this looks good. Packages starting from INR 20,000. So this is also fine. Now, another beef that I have with this page is that it is probably looking a little dull. Maybe I want to add some character to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look up blue background. We're not going to create all three, but this is just to give you a reference that how you can kind of go about improving a page. Okay, I'm still in videos. I need to go to photos or graphics. So I am in photos right now. Let's see what all do we have. So if I want to add this as my background to some extent, would I be able to do it? Because it is allowing me to change the color of this. Okay. So let's see if this is working for us, because the blue in the background was looking a little too dull. Okay, yeah, it is working. It is making my design look a little bit different, a little bit funkier, if nothing else. But let's see if we have better options for this. So, okay, I think this probably won't work. This might. Why is the color getting back to purple? This I do not understand. Let me see. I think I've messed up some hue saturation or something like that in this. So let's just have a look. I don't think so. Not really sure why it's not letting me add it to the color blue. But oh well, that's fine. We can just always change this color to match the purple here. So now my brand is apparently blue, or from blue to purple. Okay, all right. Great. So travel agencies. So yeah, my beef with the portion at the bottom is that it's looking too dull. I need people to kind of focus on this, as well as the miscellaneous information. Not miscellaneous, but like secondary. The primary is to get people to come to me and purchase this package from me, right? So I'm going to go back to elements, price tag, or maybe offer, because this does seem like an offer. Okay, 50% off. I'm gonna head to graphics, and special offer, if it lets me change the color. It does, but I think this is too Amazon looking. So what I'm going to do is maybe get some sort of a special offer. I think I'm not gonna be able to highlight this. Okay, so maybe this special offer, but I would want it to be at the corner, and maybe invert the colors. My background can be white and my text can be purple. Okay, yeah, I think something like this. Reducing the size, special offer, packages starting from INR 20,000. So yeah, now it is maybe you know going to catch some attention, but I think we can do better. But it's a painstaking process, the hit and try. that you keep on kind of like, figuring out which design looks better with what you have made. So I'm just gonna choose white and white again. And instead of this special offer, I think maybe in this scenario, I can just maybe overlap it with this. So, yeah, this makes sense. I have my best travel agency, which is giving a special offer in which packages are starting from INR 20,000. And there is a star, and in fine print, there is a text that says terms and conditions TNC applied, and another star to this, and reducing the size so that people can't really see it. So when they actually go to purchase this package, turns out it is going to cost me 50,000 now. So yeah, designers are part of the scam. But anyways, so this is how basically you go about bifurcating the information that should be present, and how you can kind of create something from scratch. Or of course, if you want, you can always take a template for this. So I hope this kind of helped you guys a bit. Are there any questions so far? I see that the chat has kind of slowed down. If you have any questions, just waiting. What about business proposal? Yeah, business proposals are very similar to presentations. So I think that is something that we covered in yesterday's session. Things that will help me will help for in making PPTs. Okay, right. How to make portfolio in Canva. Okay, yeah, I think we can. There is so much there. There is no breathing space left. You might be right. And I think in order to kind of deal with that, maybe we can reduce the font. We can increase maybe the line, and decrease the size of the frame so that it kind of like, has some space left here and there. I can maybe get the offer. Actually, no, I should keep the offer wala element on top, and maybe reduce the size of this. Now, aligning it again, I think you are going to be pleasantly surprised with how easy it is to make the design look a little more breathable. So, okay, all right. I think how did the graphic got cut? In the second fold, you deleted the earlier graphic referring to that. Okay, no, so basically, like, this is just the frame. If I want to, continue with this, so I will need to paste this image over here. I had searched for a travel image, I think. Let me show you what actually happened here. So in this scenario, this is what the size of the frame is. I can't really edit it, but what I can do is make it merge with this if I want to, keep it going. So you see that I have kind of like overlapped two frames, and it's not really noticeable. So I can just maybe create a continuous strip like this. So that is something that you can, do. Now, what was the next thing that we were gonna do? We did portfolio, sorry, we did resumes, we did flyers. Another thing that we haven't done so far is the text effects. So, okay, what we can do is I'm just gonna go to effects. I think it already has a drop shadow. You might not be able to see it on this, but if I place it here, I think you'll be able to see it. It's very fine. And this design will look cool also. But yeah, okay. So what can we do with effects? So when we tap on any typography, any text, and go to effects, a bunch of features kind of like, come into play that I can just kind of look at. So you can see that there have been, there are multiple options. So for example, of course, you start with none. I need to, I think, change the background color. Okay. And maybe decrease the weight. I keep confusing weight with width. Okay, anyways, so we go to effects, and I think I'm just gonna expand the screen for a little bit because it's kind of cumbersome to work like this. So this is my text. I can add shadow to this. Now you can see that when I clicked on shadow, it automatically selected the blue color, and but it set the transparency to 40%. So as I increase the transparency, you can see that the background or the shadow is also changing. I'm going to set this to black for now, decreasing the transparency again, adding some blur to this. So you can see that it is very fine, but this is one of the most fun part in managing typography or any assets, that you get to add shadows. So if I increase this, it is going to kind of like, have that effect on the design. I can change the direction as the sun moves. Basically, that is the approach that is followed here. That as the not sorry not as the sun moves, but as the light moves. So for example, if my shadow looks something like this, it means that the light is coming from the bottom going towards, up. And similarly for this, I think, yeah, for this one, it's like the light source is at the top. So that is what, that is how you can kind of define uh, your design. Sorry, just a second, I'm just gonna go get some water, guys. Yes. Okay. So yeah, this is how I can add shadows to my design. And okay, I can lift the design also. So if you see that, I think based on the shadow that I had created, no, it is independent. So it is going to give some sort of like a background blurred shadow to the entire thing. You can choose hollow. So some typographies, some font styles have an option to choose only outlines, but most of them don't. So that is something that we can, figure out from here. Splice is a mix of shadow with the outlines. I think for poster design, these multiple design variations is something that you can, take a look at, because like the design actually looks pretty cool when you play around with the effects of the text. You can use echo. So another one that I really like, I can change the offset. Offset is basically, how much you want your effect to move into, like whichever direction that you choose to. And glitch again is glitch is again one of my favorites. So it offers two options based on the font that you've selected. It can either be cyan blue and magenta, or it can be cyan with red. So it is giving you options. So I can create offset and I can choose the direction. So I think this is something that is also pretty cool. Also, there are like a bunch of fonts that offer this glitch effect. So you can, have a look at that too. For neon, I think you have to have a light color or a color that looks neon. So let's just take an example of pink. Okay, yeah. And go back to my effects. And okay. So, okay, so one thing that I have kind of figured out, so I haven't personally used this text effect a lot, but let's just see. I'm going to try something. So I have added two layers. Okay, this is one and the similar one on top of this. So for this, because this does not really look too neon, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it hollow, and in the color I'm going to choose maybe a lighter shade of pink. I need to go back to this and okay, yeah. So it looks a little neon, not too much, not something like so drastic as I was expecting. Okay, anyways. Then we have, of course, the background, which is also pretty cool. You don't really need to, like, kind of create boxes around the text you're making. Then you can choose to have none, or you can choose to have a design for curve. So it kind of lets you, choose the radius, sorry, the circumference of your design if this is something that you want to create. So this kind of like, really helps out when we are creating a logo or a poster design or a flyer or something like that, where we may need these kind of typographic styles. So I think that is also pretty neat. So yeah, this is how you can use the effects feature. Hindi language and font style. There, I think Devanagari is one of the font that you can use. And apart from that, I think most of the fonts like Roboto or Open Sans, Lato, Montserrat, I think all these fonts support Hindi language as well if you're, looking to design something or translate something in Hindi. Okay. Can we use any other language for text instead of English? Yeah, yeah, definitely. You will need to like maybe type it out or copy paste it from somewhere. But I think most of the fonts support those languages. Okay. Uh, all right. How to get internship in the field? So most of the companies, I understand that they do prefer a candidate who is experienced, even for internships. I know it's not fair, but I think when they want somebody who is experienced, they're not really talking about work experience. They are more looking for somebody who has experience with the tool. So, for example, if you are applying for a job as maybe a graphics intern, then in that case, you may want to have certain skill sets. For example, that you should be familiar with tools like Canva, Photoshop, Illustrator, or if you are into video editing, you should know about Premiere Pro, how to use After Effects, stuff like that. For maybe product designing, it yes, I know Love Munjal, Devanagari is dedicated Hindi language font. But I also mentioned that a lot of fonts support Hindi text and multilingual text in that matter. So I think just very recently used Roboto to translate content from English to Marathi, Telugu, and Hindi. So you can just test it out on fonts.google. Okay, yeah. So coming back to the internship bit, I think it is very important to kind of have knowledge for your own domain and what are the most recent trends. It does not hurt to have read a few articles before your interview or in general, even. So sites like UX design or I think UX World, something like that. And then there is Medium. And so you can just stay ahead of the trends, or at least, going parallelly with the trends, and understanding that what the company's current design level is like. You can check out their Instagram, their website, their portfolios, and see if what you have created in your portfolio matches. It is very important to have a portfolio, because no company would want to invest their time unless they know that you're serious about something. And if you want to be a designer, as like if you want to choose design as your field of choice, so it is very important to show other people what you're capable of, and you're going to be able to show it with the help of a portfolio. Starting off, you don't really need something too vast, or like you don't need 100 creatives listed somewhere, even in a Canva file or something. You just need a couple of three, four very cool looking, creatives, and show variety. Show that you have created business cards, show that you've created letterheads, you've created social media posts, you've edited reel covers, you've created YouTube thumbnails, you've done all of this. So also, I mean, it is kind of very important to position yourself as somebody who has experience in working on the softwares, because that is something that is very important. So I think that is about it. If you have any other queries, do let me know. Do you also know how to use After Effects? Yes, I know a little bit, but because I work as a product designer, so it does not really come up that often. Uh, yes, shortcuts for Canva. Yes, I will be adding the link in the Notion one link, and you can just get it from there. Okay, I think apart from this, we covered text effects and animations. We also worked on a real life flyer. Uh, Now, I think what is left is, so I think some of you maybe talked about typography, or some plugin that you may need to or want to explore. So for typography, fonts, text art, text wrap. Okay, let me just write text, because I think these plugins that we saw were too fancy. Text to audio, okay, text whale, curve, text poster. Okay, this looks interesting. So let's just, I mean, it's not really typography, but let's see what it comes back with. I'm just gonna do the Lorem Ipsum site and copy a bunch of text, place it here, and sample prompts. Okay, it's asking me to create. Oh, okay, create a design. I thought this was just an input field, and I just went ahead and okay. Use trending keywords and put them in a Coca-Cola bottle. Let's see if it can create this for us. Uh, okay, we will keep you posted about the bootcamp for Photoshop. Okay, while this is loading, guys, just please put down your inputs. Half face typo, please. I don't understand what half face typos are. So if you can just kind of elaborate on that. Uh, okay, I think this is taking a lot more time. Can we use the certificates? Okay. Oh, this is cool. Can we use the certificate as in resume? Yeah, you can definitely, add the resumes. Sorry, certificates in your resume. Okay, I think this looks nice. Maybe it did not really add words. I think these are just letters. Uh, Ma'am, in words, image should be up here. How can we do? Sorry, I'm not really able to understand this. Okay, half face of portrait and half side of text. Okay, okay. Okay, let me see if I understand your query. I'm just gonna head over to Elements and use one of the images that we had used recently. So it has a recently used tab. So I'm just gonna head over and use the image of the girl that we had seen. I think that is what you wanted, right? Adding the text to this so that it kind of overlaps with the person's face. I think you're gonna need to have a pro subscription for that, because remove background is used quite a lot in that. So I think that is something that we will not be able to cover today. We can host a different session in which we talk about how to explore some expert level features for such, like, editing like this. So background remove on Google. So yes, but it's not really gonna frame the image just right. I'm gonna need a couple of options to like mask the layer. It is a complicated process, but rest assured that we will get back to you with uh, how do you do the text in the image is what you want. Okay, yeah, I understand it. Maybe we can cover it in some other session. I'm gonna need to upgrade myself to a pro subscription for that. Okay, I think one thing that we did not cover today was video editing. So if let's just go to video and see how we can create, very small clippings around certain information. Okay. All right. So I think this is just really, really next level animations. Okay. Let's see. Let's just take this one and okay. So here we are. Are you ready? This is the design. Okay, this looked pretty cool, right? The animation and everything was pretty nicely done. But I think what could be stopping us? Oh, okay, okay. I thought it had animated or customized the speed of the transition, because we cannot do that right now. But I think this looks pretty good. Let's say like we want to create something like this, or we want to edit a reel. I think most of you may have a requirement around that. So let's just go to one of the reels that we may want to, work on later on for any purpose. So, okay, this is what it looks like. Yeah, add music to the reels or to the videos that we are going to be making. So okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add one more page here, and maybe this can be around around a mobile. Maybe I can just search for an iPhone and hope that there is a video of somebody with an iPhone or with a mobile. Okay, so I'm just gonna drop this video here. Uh, so in my filter, I'm gonna select a vertical orientation because I need the video to look like this. Okay. iPhone. Da, 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 da. Okay. So this is the video that I'm gonna go ahead with. And I'm going to just add lorem ipsum in this, right? Uh, okay, so this is the video. I may need to add some text over here but okay, let's just start with adding the text. So I'm just gonna close this one, add this much of content to this. Okay, maybe I can define the typography here. Uh, Choosing the right font is very, very important. It can make or break your design. So, okay, this is the font style that I'm going to go ahead with. But as you can see, it's not really very clearly visible, right? So maybe I can choose white font, but at the same time, it's again not very clearly visible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to elements and in the shape section, can we use our own video from our gallery? Yeah, you can definitely upload it. That's okay. So what I'm gonna do here is I added a box, expanded to this area, and changing the color to black. Now going to colors. Right now I just have a solid color, but what I need is actually a gradient. So I'm gonna select gradient, go here, choose black again, but reduce the opacity to this. I'm gonna reduce it to 0. And now add it so that it's going from top to bottom, because it does, basically I want this to my tab shows different Canva screen than yours. Not really sure why that is. Are you talking about the home page or some other page? Okay, anyways, meanwhile, as you reply, so basically what I wanted to do is, why am I not able to flip this? Not really sure. Again, expanding the screen. Okay, here it is. So I need to just flip it 180 degree. Okay, so that now my content is visible, regardless of what information is or what video element is going on. Uh, Sorry, is my video quality or the streaming quality very poor? I'm not really sure. I am on a Wi-Fi connection. Not really sure why it's not coming on. Let's just wait for a few minutes, hoping that it gets better. Okay, so I'm gonna just add this orange-ish yellow text here, and yep. So this, now I'm gonna add some sort of an animation to this. Now I want the word to be ascended, but maybe by line. If not by line, maybe I can just have it, by character or by letter. Sorry, by character or by word. So I think, okay, I can't really choose the writing style because of, the free subscription. So, okay, that checks out. I'm probably gonna change the font because I'm not really a fan of this one. Maybe try this because the person looks super sophisticated with the, very nicely wrapped sweater. So I'm just gonna change the font. I think this looks good. And okay, so let's see what this looks like now. Okay. Right. Yeah. I think this looks good. Maybe I can add certain graphical elements to this. For example, if I think in animate, if I'm not mistaken, if I go to animate, there is an option to create a custom animation. So I select and drag an element around, and it is going to move as per what I have, I have created a path for this. So this is like super fun. It's not really practical here, but again, it's super fun, something that you can, kind of look into. Another thing that we can do is add music uh, to our video. Increase your video quality. Sorry, guys, I am on the best Wi-Fi available in my house. So if the video quality is poor, can't really. Maybe I can turn my video off if that will help with the streaming. Uh, okay, okay. Let me know if the video quality is still poor. Is it for everybody or is it just a couple of people? Because it may be your Wi-Fi also, but just let me know. Okay, all right. So what we can do is we can just go to music and sound it out that what type of music do we want for audio. So I'm gonna just look for some free audio. Uh, okay, apparently there are no free audios. Is that really the case? Can I even? I think I can add it, but I won't be able to export it. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is, for me it's okay. Okay, not my video problem. Okay, okay. Great, great. Yeah, so the people who are not able to see the video, you can just, maybe change your streaming services. So basically, what I've done is, okay, sorry, I think in mid conversation, I just kind of drag and dropped an audio file here. So I'm just gonna remove it. Let's just. So when I searched for music and went to my audio section, it gave me a bunch of options. Most of them are pro features, pro listings. So I can always upload my own. So what I'm going to do now is, okay, I think this is good. I'm just gonna drag and drop it. Drop music. So as soon as I drag and drop it, you can see that at the bottom there is a placeholder for me that says drop music. So I'm just gonna drop my music here. Now I can change the duration of my frame. How long do I want to keep this information for from these handles on the sides of a particular. So basically this is a frame, and as you can see that it is going to be visible for 8.8 seconds. Now similarly for the first one, this was visible for 1.8 seconds, second was 2.1 and 4, and now we have 8.8. So I'm just going to reduce it because I don't want it to be there for so long, and because there's not a lot of content for here to be even read. Okay, so because I reduced the size of my frame, the audio file has also reduced. But this song, I think, is a little too loud. So let's just see how it goes. Okay, I think this is good, but maybe we can fade it a little bit. So because my audio is 3.4 seconds, so I'm going to just maybe fade in for 1 second, fade out for 1 second. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, I think this is sorted. Now what I can do is I can just add another frame and look for something around office. I think we started with creating something for iPhones and now we've moved on to offices. That's fine. We're not really completing a task here. We're just trying to compose a couple of frames to create a video around this. I'm just gonna be looking for some free videos. I think this is a good one. So basically, in this, maybe we can create a whole script around the workplace or um, sorry, what is this? Okay, I think we can just kind of ignore this. So another thing that we can do is we can edit the video. We can kind of change, or apply a bunch of filters to this. We can adjust the brightness or the warmth directly from here. Now, because I had added a filter to this in the previous background, sorry, in the previous section. So that is kind of what is applied here. So if you can see a bunch of properties are all messed up here. Okay, so what I can do is maybe I want to move it to a black and white setup, right? So for that, I am just gonna decrease the saturation to 0. X process, I think, I don't know what this X process is. I am seeing it for the first time. Okay, anyways, I can maybe decrease the shadow, decrease the highlight even. I think, no, I can increase it to give it that very standard black and white high contrast feel to this. Okay, it looks a little artistic even. It may look a little different from what I was initially creating, but I think I have something in mind. Maybe I want to make a collage, like a bunch of videos playing together to kind of take the user's attention, because this is like a very mellow kind of setup, right? So maybe I want to create a bunch of videos here. So this is the one, and then I can create some more around it and maybe give it some sort of a hierarchy. So I place one here, other can be placed here, something like this, and maybe move it a little out of the frame. That's fine. Now I can probably add some text on this side, right? So going back to the previous frame, picking up my typography, adding it here, changing the color to black, and reducing the size to make it fit this space. Okay. Uh, Join us today is what my messaging is gonna be. I'm gonna reduce the size a little bit again and join us today. Okay, I think this looks good, and I'm gonna see what it looks like when I play it. Okay, yeah, I think this is fine. Another thing that I might want to do is, because there is so much of white space and in the background, it is making me feel like there is a certain border to this video. So what I want to do is I want to add some border to these two videos as well. So what I'm gonna do is select the video, add certain amount of border, change the color from here. So you can see that there is some part of the video that is cut out now. And I'm going to also animate this to make it seem like it is coming in or going out. Sorry, on both actually. I'm gonna animate it to pan and both. So you can kind of see the difference now. Right? I hope this is adding value to you guys. Uh, okay. If you want to flip the photo with audio clip, what should we do? If you want to flip the photo, so flipping the photo is something that you can do directly from here. Let me see. Yeah, when I select an asset, I get an option to flip it. I can flip it horizontally or vertically. So yeah, if that is what you're asking, this is how you can solve that query. I have an issue. If we add one video and then second video, the previous video is escaping. Yeah, so the point is that when I drag and drop a second video, you can just tap it and it will be placed in your design. But if you drag and drop it, chances are that it might get overlapped with the existing one. We don't want to drop this video in the same frame as this one. You want to drop it separately. So you can just tap on this and it will be added to your design. Okay. Any other queries? Okay. All right. I think that kind of covers your video editing part as well. I think just for a reference, we can just quickly create maybe a YouTube thumbnail. I think a couple of people were hoping to get that uh, reference point. I think apart from that, we've covered everything. So maybe, I can create a cover for maybe one of the roasters. I don't know, but I'm just gonna search for a man laughing. Let's see what all results do we get. But because we won't really be able to remove the background, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to prefer or choose a video that already has sort of a whitish background. Okay, image selection is again a very, very painful process. You need patience to find a video that kind of fits your perspective. Okay, so I think I have found a video. The person is sitting on a stool like you do in stand up, and maybe I can add the background to fit something like this. So I won't be able to remove the background. This is such such a pain to not be able to do this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to this site remove.bg. Uh, and actually pixels. Okay, man, laughing. Let's see what results do I get. Okay, this is funny looking. I think this is fine. I'm just gonna download this, upload it here. Let's see if it works. So yeah, so one of the beef with this particular site is it is only going to download the file in 408 by 612. In order to get the HD quality photo, I need to have an account with them. So I think that is something that I'm not gonna do today. I'm just gonna add this man here, and maybe change the background color to make it a little more lively because this background was looking a little dull. Yellow background pattern, PACK. So, guys, I'm gonna need you to kind of help me out in adding assets to this because, being very honest, I have not designed a YouTube thumbnail ever before. I have designed things in past, but I have never really come across a scenario in which I had to, design a YouTube thumbnail. So do tell me what all information points should be mentioned here. What all should I be adding in this? So for example, I think this crumpled paper card design might look good. I can just change the color to match my requirements a little bit. Maybe add some red to it. Animation texture, right? But mostly the thumbnails aren't they? Very static. They don't really animate all that much. I mean, until and unless you've like hovered on it or something like that. So, what all information points do we want to add in this? My whole point is that I kind of want to make this stand out, make this design stand out. So how do I go about doing that? So I'm just gonna move it to the back. Okay. Use some red font to make it a little attractive. That's a very good suggestion. Thank you. I'm just gonna select this, or maybe make the title, Did You Know About This? Maybe in my head, this stand-up comedian or a roaster is talking about some like crazy facts that we did not know about, and he's just asking a bunch of people on the road questions about, did you know about this? Something like that. So that is where I'm coming from. Now let's select a font. Now I want the font to not look like it's handwritten, not corporate, not display. Paragraph, heading, no. Modern, bold, elegant, no. Vintage, no. I want it to be a little funny looking, comic-y and funky. Okay, let's see what all categories there are. Graffiti, no. Monospace, no. Sports, no. So let's go back to a comic. Let's see what all options do I have in comic. Did you know about this? Okay. Did you know about this? I think this is a while ago or a while later, 5 minutes later, something like that. I think there's a meme around this. I think it looks like that. Maybe I can just go ahead with this one. Did you know about this? And change the color. I think somebody suggested that we change the color to red. Yes, I think that's a good approach. We can probably even do blue, but I think red is standing out more, which is also making my design look a little more lively. Add a dialogue box. That's an amazing idea. Dialogue box. Make it seem like that this guy is talking. He's saying something. Did you know about this? Okay, I can't stop repeating the word for some reason. Uh, okay, yeah, yeah. I think this is coming out very well. Thank you, guys. Uh, okay, yeah. So I have this background thing in the background. Is it possible to extract images from the gallery? Yes, yes, my friend. You can always kind of like whatever you've uploaded, you can download it again from Canva gallery. If you have questions about any of the features, I would suggest that you open that panel up and just try clicking on random elements. So, for example, what does this button do? It closes this particular section, right? So, like, you will get the answers for all the questions that you have, but for that you will need to kind of explore the tool a little bit. You will have to do some research or maybe create a project, so it will kind of really help you. So these lines are really bugging me, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly uh, get a marker, change the weight, and maybe remove these lines from here. So I would suggest that you don't do this, but because it is kind of like, making my design look a little bit messy. But honestly, I can much rather live with the messy outlines than the watermark. So, okay, I have done this. Now I need to move this particular layer to the front because I've added a lot of random mumbo jumbos to this. Creating a group for this. Okay, did you know about this? And maybe a lot of exclamation signs or questions, question marks, question graphics, something around that. Okay, maybe I can add it in the background even, or maybe I can kind of repeat this pattern throughout my design. So how do I go about doing that? I do this, copy it, paste it, centrally align, copying it again and again, because most of the background graphics that Canva has to offer, they are already designed in such a way that you can reuse it. You can basically replicate the design across your grid. I'm gonna just push it back, reduce the opacity a little bit, and okay, I think this looks like something. I'm not really sure if I like this. Yes, it's too cluttered. I agree with you. It is too cluttered. Okay, how to ungroup? Selecting the layers that are grouped and ungroup, or selecting the layers and ungroup. This is how you ungroup. Okay, animate the dialog box as it's popping out. Okay, let's animate this. I think scrapbook was. Did you know about this? Okay, no. Want this to be animated. Okay, so I think I just selected the entire thing and uh, okay, so for some reason it is only animating parts of this. Not really sure why, because my asset is grouped. So if I want to uh, animate the whole thing, so let's just apply scrapbook separately to both of them. Ungrouping it, added scrapbook to this, and I'm gonna add scrapbook to this also. Okay, I think we got it. I'm just gonna need to remove all of this clutter from here once. So when we play it, okay, I think it's not moving together. Okay, I think I will need to kind of like check why this is happening. But what all information should be there? I mean, give me some suggestions. Burst looks good. Okay, for alert. Okay, right. Some icons for alert around this. Okay. Uh, okay, some disclaimer, maybe some stamp for disclaimer that you will lose your mind once you've known the answer to these questions or something like that. No, I think that's a little too much. Guys, give me a suggestion. Subscribe button. Yeah, that's so. What all can you recall from uh, some YouTube channel that you may have seen at some point in your life? Okay, so subscribe button. I think I should add some sort of a subtext to this also, or 10 things you wish you did not know. So I think subtext is needed. What if, there is somebody who is just browsing through a bunch of videos and does not really know the context. So maybe that is something. Okay, what I need to change the color for this. What did I select before? Okay, so I'm gonna just change the font uh, to this as well. 10 things you wish you did not know. Okay. Open mic. Yes, mic is a very good suggestion. Uh, I'm just gonna increase the size and maybe change the color to white because his jacket is all black. So I think I can move my subscribe button now and move this here. Decrease the line spacing and tilt my subscribe button a little bit more, right? Something like this. Stand up icon. Okay, stand up icon. What's a stand up icon? Social media logo. Social media. Uh, okay, I think social media could be. I think that is more like a last frame that you add. Like I don't know if you watch Tanmay Bhatt's meme reviews. Maybe it has like a bunch of icons or something, but that's not really a cover image. That is something that is kind of like leaving you with this information, something like that. But okay, so a name. Yes, of course, we forgot to add a name. Did you know about this? By this XYZ person. Okay, let me just reiterate. Subscribe can go over here. Actually, subscribe should go on top. This can go here. And by uh, James James Smith. Okay, I'm just gonna change the font to this, make it a little more simple, bold, and caps, and then decrease the size. Left align it so that it has some sort of, uh, you know, some sort of focus that is getting caught by it. Okay, yeah, yeah. I think this is for a first attempt. I think we did a semi decent job in creating, you know, a YouTube thumbnail, adding border to the person's image. Yes, yes, that is also a good idea. I think what you can do is go to edit, shadow. I think it's probably outline, right? And white, increasing the size. So what it does is it kind of like increases the size from the center or moves the image in the middle. So if you want to decrease it, you can do that also. And what I'm thinking is maybe I can give it sort of like, moving backward while a vibe. So how I can do that is maybe increasing the size a little bit more, increasing the size of this image, moving this image back. Da, 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 da. Okay, yeah, yeah. So for that image, I think I'm just gonna change the color to black and then reduce the transparency. So it has that effect behind it. Okay, how to make image transparent. So for that, you will need to use the background remover and curtain feel on the back to give it a show. Yes, that's a good idea. Curtains. So, okay, yeah, yeah. I think this is gonna cover a bunch of our elements, but let's see what all can we bring out. Okay, yeah, I think not a bad start uh, to the world of thumbnail designing. We could have, done a better job. But I think this is fine. This is fine for a first attempt. But I hope you guys got to learn a lot how to add minor animations, how to use typography, how to use icons, how to add outlines to images using multiple type of graphics, how to add images or videos to reels or to frames. So what does log do? Log basically just logs your asset. Now I won't be able to, I can move any of the elements, but I won't be able to move that particular layer until I have unlocked it. Okay, I think that is all. So give some different font styles. So refer to the site, Font Joy, and of course, some sites like I think Be Creative or something like that. Just look up, font combinations, and I would suggest that you don't copy the references that you're seeing, but try to find a similar font for that, and try to create pairings on your own. And it would be great if you have, if you're using Canva or Photoshop, it will be great for you, save you a lot of time if you have a bunch of combinations handy. For example, today I really struggled with finding this really crazy looking font, right? But maybe you can have a repository, a file in which you've saved a couple of combinations. If the design is serious looking or corporate looking, what kind of font should you use? If the design is something that is a little feminine or a little sophisticated, maybe you use modern fonts for that, or if it is again like something as kooky as a YouTube thumbnail for a roaster, then what font should you use? So this kind of like saves you a lot of time. Okay, all right. I think that's about it. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Thank you. This has been great. And we will see you in the next session now. I think this, so yeah, for the people who were asking, this was only a 2-day workshop, but we will get back to you with more similar workshops. And thank you. Thank you so much for attending. I hope this was an insightful session for you. If you have any queries, if you have any questions, please drop a comment under the video. And if that is something that we can answer, we will add that particular requirement in the one link. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.